back to Bibliophiles Audiophiles. Today we are doing the letter W in the ABC Challenge. We are doing Watcher by R.K. Pierce, which is a Sumiton / Foothills book vendor that we have met once or twice, and Alyssa got this book from.
I got it from her. I got it from her.
Oh.
Yeah, I went up to her booth and I'm like, oh, tell me about yourself. And she's telling me about how she does monster erotica, and I was just like, ooh, you're speaking my language.
Girl, say less.
Because the whole last year is all I've read was weird erotica stories.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And she was telling me, I know Vera Valentine, and I'm like, oh my god, Vera Valentine. Because if you don't know who Vera Valentine is, she is a author who writes the weird erotica that I've written or read. She is the author of Unhinged, Squeak and Squeal. What else has she written? Cold Sweat, I think is what it's called, with the Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've read everything that she wrote.
Oh my god.
So she's like, I know her, and I'm just like, oh my god, I love her. And so I was like, I know if she knows her, then I'm probably gonna love her book. And I'm like, I want this book, which is Watcher. Mm-hmm. And she said, take it. And I was just like, are you serious? Because I was just about to give you money. And she's like, take it. And I'm like, God bless your soul.
This one, yeah. For this amazing masterpiece. This little masterpiece of the book.
So I'm really excited that we're doing this for the ABC Challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you don't already follow R.K. Pierce on social media, you should do that, especially if you like monster romance / erotica. Watcher is available on Kindle Unlimited. If you don't have Kindle Unlimited, it is $2.99 for the Kindle version and $8.99 for the paperback. The description is as follows. A powerful superstition plagues the townsfolk of Cold Springs. Everyone is terrified of the Watcher. He's a nameless, faceless demon who haunts the town at night, but despite the countless stories I've heard, I don't believe them. He's merely a myth, and I'm determined to prove it to everyone, even if it means heading into the cornfield alone on All Hallows Eve. What I find waiting for me is unlike anything I could have ever imagined. What I find waiting for me is unlike anything I could have imagined. A sentient scarecrow is bound to a stake, promising me my most salacious desires and begging me to set him free. Will releasing him be the end of Cold Springs as we know it, or the end of a torturous century for a trapped soul? This is a standalone paranormal romance novella. The content warnings are sexual content, fire injury detail, infidelity, confinement, and death.
Was there sexual content on there?
That was the first thing I said.
Okay, good.
Literally the first 2 words out of my mouth.
Sorry. I was half paying attention.
No, you're fine. Okay. You got some reviews, madam?
Yes. So, not Amazon. Storygraph's average rating is a 3.42. The lowest review I was able to find that was in English is a 2 that says, okay, sure, I'm kinda on board with this one. But at the same time, why all the build-up about the 3 town rules and the Watcher's revenge if none of it actually mattered? And okay, he has a fancy peen, but for what? Because it's trendy in monster romance? This has a lot of potential but was super rushed. I would have really loved to see things tied together more, and I still don't understand how that broke the curse. Okay. The 5-star says, I read this novella for Halloween and wasn't disappointed. It is a novella, so the story progresses quicker, but that's okay. Cassie is the heroine that moved to a new town because her boyfriend cheated on her. Atticus is a scarecrow in the cornfield that is actually a person trapped by a curse. I loved Atticus. I love that he stuck up for her even though they just met, and the chemistry between Atticus and Cassie was off the charts. And weirdly, I wish his gourd would have stayed after being freed from the curse, but only because I love monsters so much. And on Goodreads, the average rating is a 3.53. The lowest rating I found on there, that was in English, the person wrote, it's a 2-star, says, a fairly boring Beauty and the Beast style story that is way too much setup and one short steamy scene. It would have been better to either forget the spicy side of things and develop the story, or lean into monster sex and have a lot more of it. As it is, the story is not satisfying on any level. The 5-star I picked said, I love this Halloween novella, but I wish there was more. What happens with Atticus? What happens to the town? What about Cassie? I need more.
Yeah.
And then on Amazon, the average rating is a solid 4 out of 5. The lowest rating I saw on there was a 3-star. It said, a lot of build-up for the short ending, but cute. Gourd almighty. Could use a little bit more afterwards, but all in all was cute read. And the 5-star I picked said, I thought this sounded interesting when I bought it last week. What an amazing novella this out to be, and I wish there was more. Setting out to uncover the mystery of the Watcher, Cassie finds much more than she ever planned. It also left me yearning to find a scarecrow of my own. This was an excellent read. And that's that.
I just want to say that everyone's like, oh man, it's just so short. I feel that. Because,
Yes.
when I was reaching towards the end of the book, I'm like, man, I wish this was, like, an entire story. And, like,
Yes!
I feel that every single time I read a novella.
That is one of my notes somewhere. But yeah, I was really, really hoping there would be more. I, like, wish there was more.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's, you know, I would have loved to see, like, what caused the curse to happen. I can't remember if they did, like, but I want, like, more detail on that.
See, every time I read a novella, I'm like, man, this is great. And then I get to the end, and I'm like, man, this sucks. Like, because I need more.
Yeah.
I have a love-hate relationship with novellas.
Yes. Yes.
Anyways, it's time for this weird uncle guy. I don't know. Some
This
weird
dude.
Yeah,
we
some
know.
guy that just showed up, you know?
Yeah. His name, in case you didn't know, was James. James.
There's some spoilers coming up, sweetie. You better cover your ears.
Your first note, madam?
Mine says, man haunts Cold Springs, but no one knows why, because they're too scared to... I wrote FAAFO, which if you don't know, because you probably don't, because that's an abbreviation I made up. It's round and find out.
Oh my gosh, you probably don't, because I made it up. Yeah, and my first note is about her moving in with her aunt and uncle and cousin, because, like, her boyfriend cheated on her.
Yep.
And so the aunt and cousin redecorated a bedroom.
That's
for
so
her.
sweet.
I know, like, tried to make it to where she would, like it and be happy to stay there.
That's pretty much what your dad did for me.
Yeah.
Like, he, like, gave me a whole tour. He's like, this is where you can sleep. You go to a closet. And he's like, I
Aw.
took the sheets off the bed so you can put your own sheets on the bed. And blah, blah, blah. It was so sweet.
I don't know, my dad, like, my 6 foot, 200-pound father is a big, not a big baby, a big teddy bear. No, I'm used to calling my son a teddy baby because he's a teddy baby. My dad's a teddy bear.
Yep.
Both of them are TBs, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you did mention the 3-town rules when reading.
Yes.
Yeah, the 3-town rules. Never turn down Lucinda's apple pie.
Yes.
Don't be in town before noon Sunday.
Yep.
And don't engage with the Watcher.
Yep. Which, one of my questions was, because I don't think they mentioned, why can't they refuse pie from Diner Lady?
I think it's just rude. The same
Suppose.
thing. The same thing with the before noon on Sunday. I guess that means you didn't go to church. If
Yeah.
it's a small town. So like,
I suppose. That makes sense.
I think that's more like small town etiquette. But the last one is the real rule. You
Yeah.
know?
I wish there was a little bit more on those, though, you know? I mean, it
Yeah.
goes back to the whole thing where it was just like, I wish there was more, but like, it's a little novella, so like,
Yeah.
you're not going to have as many details as you would like a full novel, but I wish they would have like, I wish she would have like added a little bit more about that.
Yeah. I think still, for a novella that's about having sex with a scarecrow,
Yep.
this book was really good.
Yes, it was.
It was like very, because I mean, we have read like short stories from
Yes.
small town authors before.
Yep.
And it's some of them are like, oh my gosh, this is the next Sarah J. Maas. And other times it's like, what did I just read?
Yes.
But this one is a good middle one. Like, I would recommend this one.
Yes.
If I knew someone was okay with smut, I would be like, you need to read this book. Because
Yes.
this one, it's like Getting My Swamp. Like, I still recommend that one to
Yes.
people.
Yes. So the cornfield burns down and regrows the next day, and Cassie's just like, I'm gonna just walk right in.
Yeah, literally, no. My next note is, what is wrong with white women? She's told about a cornfield where people go missing and hear screaming, and she's like, I have to go.
Yes, I need to know what's going on.
She's going to be the next documentary on a girl that's missing.
Yes. Except she wasn't,
Yeah.
because
And
she finds Atticus.
Atticus, which I've had a cat named Atticus before.
Yeah?
Because I really like that name, Atticus. I don't know why. That's a really good
Atticus
name.
is the name of Link, or Lincoln,
Yeah, yeah.
on Grey's Anatomy. I keep
Oh,
forgetting that,
that's true, yeah.
because they always call him Link.
Yeah. Yeah, and she like tells her aunt, I'm gonna go to town.
I'm going to town. Just kidding. I'm going into the cornfield.
Oh, she was going to town.
She went to town.
She was going to town, the town of Atticus.
The whole "my lover cursed me" is giving Wicked, because
yeah.
I mean, like the second half of Wicked. If you've only seen the movie, which that's the only thing I've done, But I've done like a lot of spoilers and like I've like seen stuff online about like the second half of it. But like the second half of it is like the guy, spoiler alert, the Fiero gets cursed by the Wicked Witch of the West. So Alphaba, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
So like he gets cursed. That's why he turns into the Scarecrow.
Yeah.
Which is funny because this is about a scarecrow.
Yeah, I've seen like a lot of lore about that in the Wizard of Oz. Like, I really need to dig more into that. I want to get the books, but they're so expensive right now.
I have the first book right now.
Yeah.
I just haven't started reading it yet, but I plan on it, and I want to see the rest of the series. But
yeah,
the only reason why I have it is because I went into Books A Million, and I was walking around, and I was like, I think I went in there because I had to use the bathroom, but I was like, I can't come in here and not get something.
Of all the stores to go to the bathroom in.
Yeah, so.
But yeah, Atticus was like, what are you doing here? Like, oh, you know, I've been cursed. That's why I'm here. And then he was like, yeah, I can show you the way out.
No, yeah, because he was just like, what are you doing here? You need to get out of here. And she's just like, I'm just curious and I want to know your story. And he's like, really?
Yeah, no one's ever asked.
Really? No one's ever asked.
And then he was like, yeah, I can help you the way out. Then he was like, well, I really hope, like, he's like, I hope I don't see you again. But at the same time, I do.
Yeah.
You know? And she went back.
Yeah, so like he's stuck on this pole for like the last 100 years, and the only way to get him off the pole is if someone cut his ties, which is what she did, and he was like free. He couldn't leave the cornfield, but he could not be stuck to a pole.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. My next note after that though says not Cassie being like, talking scarecrow.
She literally is like, oh my gosh, this is so scary. This guy is kind of hot though.
Yeah, because then she goes
like,
home
wow.
after leaving the cornfield. She's like, I need to go back.
How ugly was her ex-boyfriend that she was sexually attracted to a scarecrow?
Yes.
Like, I don't know if you've got the cover photo pulled up.
Oh, I have it like in my hand right now.
Yeah, but like looking...
Because I brought the book.
Oh, I didn't read the book. I'm looking at the Storygraph page, and I'm like, I don't know if I'd find that hot. That would be menacing. I don't know if that would be hot to me.
I don't know. You could see his abs.
He does have abs, and he's got them whitewashed jeans on, you know?
Yeah.
My next note is actually a quote, and like it was too funny not to write down, okay? If anyone would have asked me 2 weeks ago how I felt about getting naked in a cornfield while a scarecrow watched with a boner, I would have asked what they were smoking. I cackled at that one, and like,
yeah, me too.
it was so funny.
I mean, I get it. I get it.
I'm not saying I would hop on that thing, but I'm saying I get it.
Yeah, you know. My next note, because you know he's attracted to her too. Mm-hmm. He like wants to worship her body, and I love when I read about a man who wants to do that.
Yes,
you know, doesn't want anything just for himself. Like he wants to take care of her and like see her through, you know, her pleasure and stuff like that. Like
she reaches completion.
That's the
very
stuff.
Nice. That's it, men. Any man listening to this, take notes. Dress up like a scarecrow.
Dress up like a scarecrow.
See, the thing that I was focusing on mainly during all the like intercourse stuff, which is this is probably really stupid, but for one, when was the last time he washed his hands? Because he's been outside, you know, a scarecrow for however long, like 100 years. Yeah, like when was the last time he washed his hands?
So you're just focused on the fact that, like, you know, he's touching her, getting his hands pretty close
inside of her.
That's called yeast infection, my love.
Yeah, literally, like, girl, you're gonna get the biggest UTI you've ever had from this, but pop off, you know?
Yeah.
But no, literally, that's what that was my main concern. Was like, for one, does he have fingers? I think he did.
He does.
For two, when was the last time they were clean? Or he cut his fingernails or washed under his fingernails.
You know, there's got to be dirt and pollen, probably bird feces.
Ugh, because the bird's on. Yeah.
Man, I didn't think about that.
R.K. Pierce, make sure you include Be like, oh, the scarecrow is so hot.
You see,
I have some hand sanitizer. Would you like some?
This is what I was focused on. You ready? This is a quote too, kind of. Not really, but like there's a section of it. My note that's a quote. She sees his, you know, his thingaling, and she goes, "Oh my gourd," because it's a gourd.
It's a gourd.
And I was curious because I couldn't remember if they described it, but I can pull it up because I wanted to know what this gourd looked like because there's a lot of different types of gourds.
She did describe it. I remember it in great detail because living in the South, it's not uncommon to be driving and then just see someone selling gourds on the side of the road in front of their house because they're really common here.
So she wrote, standing at attention where a, human dingling should be, is a striped gourd, thick at the base with a slight curve in the shaft. It's decent size, both in length and girth, but it still looks manageable from where I'm sitting. It still looks manageable for me.
Did you, Google a picture of a gourd?
I did, because I wanted to get an idea of, what, because I was trying to figure out what I was looking at. I looked it up, just now, just because I was trying to think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I know I have an idea of what it looks like.
Yep.
I was picturing,
like a butternut squash or something?
Yeah, butternut squash. I feel like that seems accurate enough.
Yeah. See, I write this stuff down, and then I literally forget about it pretty much as soon as I finish the book. And then I go over the notes later, and I'm just like, what? So my last note is, well, I can officially say I have read a book where a scarecrow with a gourd for a Johnson has intercourse with a woman. Well, I can officially say.
Yeah, I can say.
A scarecrow with a gourd for a Johnson has intercourse with a woman.
My last note says, so his curse is broken. He's back to being person, right?
Yeah.
But he was like a person 100 years ago.
Yeah.
And now it's 100 years later, and now he's person again.
Yeah.
So, how would he ID himself? Does he go back to being called Atticus? Does he go by that last name?
Oh, how does he get a driver's license?
Does he talk about, does he, identify himself as that person from 100 years ago? Does he say that person's an ancestor and he's a new person?
Oh.
Where is he going to get all his legal documents? His birth certificate and stuff? All that stuff. That's something I've always been, curious about when it comes to, books like that.
Yeah.
Where it's the curse is broken, but, I'm not... what's the name of that book?
What if she took him home and he was in baggy scarecrow clothes?
Yeah.
And then is the aunt just gonna be like, yeah, we have room?
Well, in books
Who
like
is
this, yes. But otherwise, no.
That's so crazy, honestly. I did not even think about that.
Yeah, that's the one thing that comes to mind every time I read books like this. I'm just well, now they're a person. What's a good example?
Yeah.
The book Stuffed. I forgot who wrote it. But, it's the one about the sentient pillow.
Yeah.
And so the pillow becomes a person. And I'm well, I think they, talked about how they, went on, I don't know, the black market or something and got him, papers to identify himself as. But, a lot of books, usually don't talk about that kind of stuff. It's kind of just well, no, he's a person.
Oh, my gosh.
But, yeah, that's all my notes for this.
I have my, buzzword. Word? No, I have one more note that I wrote after my buzzwords, but it's just I don't know, a note pretty much, because I said I'll never look at scarecrows or gourds the same.
Yeah.
Because now I'm gonna be slightly turned on. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see a scarecrow and I'm gonna go, ooh, hey.
Oh.
Honestly, this is the second time in my life where I've seen someone fantasize about scarecrow. The first time would be The Sims 4. So many people have babies with the scarecrow from Sims 4.
You can if you interact with it enough.
Yeah.
I've done it.
I've done it too.
I've done it because I was there's a challenge where you have to do that with all the supernatural people. Yeah. So you would do it with Father Winter.
Yeah, Father Winter.
The Grim Reaper, the Scarecrow, the Easter Bunny.
Oh my gosh,
the Flower Bunny is what it's called. You could do it with other things from different packs, but I don't remember what those are. But yeah,
wolf and vampire, and all that. Yeah, man, you'd have a lot of kids.
Yeah. But yeah, what are your buzz comments?
Short, sweet, and spooky.
I wrote better than other weird ones that I've read.
Yeah.
I wish there was more. Mm-hmm. And smut was good. Nice build up.
Honestly, if R.K. Pierce were to write, either a novella or a book that just went more into detail about, what happened afterwards, I would be 100% into that.
So what's your rating?
I gave it a 4.5 out of 5.
I gave it a 5 out of 5.
Oh my goodness. I honestly wanted to give it a 5 out of 5, but, my 5 out of 5 usually means I could reread it again. Mm. Which, honestly, I could reread this again. I'm not gonna lie.
I probably will at some point in time.
I think I'm gonna update it to 5 out of 5. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm just
Because
like,
it was really good.
for me, like, I really liked it. I wish there was more. Like, I agree with like everybody whose reviews we were reading. Or I was reading because I'm the one that picked them. But I agree with everyone. Like, I really wish there was more. But that's like the whole point of like a novella, is that it's just a little tiny cute little thing.
Yeah.
Also, like, I really love the author, and like, I'm not picking this 5 out of 5 because I love the author, but like, that also helps with like books too, is like when you personally know the author and you, or not you, I don't personally know her, but like you meet her and she's got this really nice personality. I really like talking to her. I think I was there for like 20 minutes talking to her, but yeah, that also kind of fit into like my review, but I really like this book.
Yeah, I did too. It was really sweet, but also like spooky, and like it's just kind of a mix of like everything. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Bibliophiles Audiophiles. If you would like to find us online, our Instagram is Biblio Audio
Podcast.
Yeah. Biblio Audio Podcast on Instagram. And we have a website,
Which is biblioaudiopod.com.
Yeah. If you would like to email us a book recommendation, or if you're an author looking for an interview to be on the podcast, our email is biblioaudiopod@gmail.com. We're looking for authors who are interested in being on the podcast to talk about your book and stuff.
Yeah. I have ideas of like questions we can ask.
Yeah, me too. Every time I think of one, I write it down. Anyways, yeah, so thank you for listening to this episode, and you'll hear us in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.